I want you to picture a guy named David. He's 58 years old, his alarm clock goes off at 6:30 a.m., and even though he just got a solid 8 hours of sleep, he wakes up feeling physically exhausted and, frankly, just kind of emotionally flat. His health is generally fine, his family's doing well, but there's this heavy, quiet emptiness he really can't quite shake. If you've ever felt like David, you are absolutely in the right place. Welcome back to Vital Elixir, where our mission is to empower you to age with strength, independence, and confidence through clear, science-backed info. Today we're diving into the profound biological need for purpose. We're going to explore how finding your why might just be the most potent natural medicine you can give your body after 45.
You know that question, right? Is this all there is? It usually creeps in during a quiet moment. Maybe it's that familiar Sunday night dread, or just this pervasive feeling of being on autopilot throughout the whole week. For David, and for honestly so many of us in midlife, the structures that used to define us, like raising a busy family or climbing the career ladder, they begin to naturally shift or fade away. And you're left in what researchers call an identity vacuum. I really want to validate this for you right off the bat. This is a completely normal life transition. It's not a personal failure, and you are definitely not alone in feeling it.
So, what do we usually do when we feel this deep exhaustion? Well, like David, we try to fix it with the usual suspects. We try to get more sleep, maybe we buy a fancy new multivitamin, or we just try to rest more on the weekends. But here's the fascinating truth. A lot of times, we aren't suffering from a lack of sleep. We're suffering from a lack of meaning. We are missing a compelling reason to wake up. See, when the body lacks a meaningful target to aim for, it intuitively conserves energy, which just leaves us feeling permanently drained.
To really understand what happens when we do have that compelling reason to wake up, let's take a little trip to the quiet village of Ogimi, on the island of Okinawa in Japan. This village has one of the highest concentrations of centenarians, so people living past 100, anywhere on Earth. When researchers asked these thriving older adults what kept them so vibrant, they didn't just point to their diet of sweet potatoes or taking daily walks. They pointed to a deeply ingrained cultural philosophy, one that's actually carved right into a stone monument at the entrance of their village. They credited their amazing longevity to just one word: Ikigai. It roughly translates to the reason you get up in the morning. It's that driving force that pulls you out of bed, not because you're obligated to go to work, but because something or someone out there needs you. After 45, when your daily routines and societal roles inevitably change, intentionally rebuilding this daily meaning is arguably one of the most vital health decisions you can make to support your long-term independence and energy. Now, this isn't just a beautiful philosophy, it's measurable biology. A massive meta-analysis published by the National Institutes of Health looked at data from over 136,000 participants across multiple countries. And they found that individuals who reported a strong sense of purpose in life were associated with a 17 to 23% reduced risk of all-cause mortality. Let that sink in for a second. Your sense of meaning is directly tied to your body's physical resilience. Building on that, Harvard Health Publishing has highlighted research suggesting that maintaining a strong sense of purpose might actually add up to 7 years to your life. 7 years. This tells us that purpose is not some luxury. It's not something you just hope to stumble upon when you retire. It is an absolute biological necessity that gives your body the green light to keep fighting, keep repairing, and keep thriving. Let's break down the clinical data a bit more to see how purpose literally changes your cellular health. Research indicates that purposeful people have calmer immune systems, showing lower markers of inflammation like CRP and IL-6. At Rush University, researchers found that older adults with a high sense of purpose actually had a 2.4 times lower risk of developing Alzheimer's, because purpose seems to help build a kind of cognitive reserve. And remarkably, a University of California study found it's associated with longer telomeres. Those are the protective caps on your DNA, which means having a purpose might literally slow cellular aging. So how do you know if you, kind of like our friend David, are running low on this vital resource? Well, there are hidden signs of purpose depletion. We've already talked about the autopilot feeling, the Sunday dread, and that identity vacuum, but there's also the comparison spiral. Scrolling through social media, looking at others your age and wondering why you aren't quite as vibrant. And finally, there's the energy paradox. This is when you feel exhausted despite getting plenty of rest. It happens because your body is simply conserving its energy, waiting for you to give it a truly meaningful reason to spend it. Now, before we look at exactly how to rebuild your Ikigai, I want to gently remind you that this explainer is strictly for educational purposes. We're chatting about wellness and lifestyle here, not offering medical advice. If you're experiencing severe depression, hopelessness, or chronic fatigue that's keeping you from living your life, please reach out to your doctor or a healthcare professional. You are never alone in this, and compassionate medical help is always available to get you back on track.
Okay, let's get into the actionable steps to transform your daily energy. The biggest mistake we make is thinking our purpose has to be this grand, world-changing mission. It absolutely doesn't. You can let go of that pressure right now. Instead, we need to focus on what I call micro-purposes. These are small, safe anchors for your daily life. It could be tending a simple windowsill garden, eating your breakfast slowly while practicing gratitude, walking to a specific park bench every morning at 10 a.m., or just committing to calling a friend every Tuesday. These small, reliable acts tell your nervous system that today matters. Next, consider a really powerful concept called generativity, a term coined by psychologist Erik Erikson. Generativity is our natural, healthy drive in midlife and beyond to contribute to the next generation. We safely shift from the taking and building phase of our younger years to the giving and nurturing phase. Whether that's teaching a grandchild how to bake, mentoring a younger colleague, or volunteering at a local library, this simple act of giving lowers stress hormones like cortisol and creates a profound biological sense of mattering.
When we search for meaning, we're usually handed a very common piece of advice: find your passion. But honestly, that can be incredibly anxiety-inducing. It makes it sound like there's a hidden treasure out there, and if you haven't dug it up yet, you're failing. Let's replace that with a much gentler approach. Follow your curiosity. Maybe you're just slightly curious about watercolor painting or learning the local history of your town. Follow that mild curiosity for 30 days and watch how purpose naturally grows slowly through daily attention.
Another incredibly effective tool is establishing a 10-minute morning ritual. Now, this isn't about productivity, it's about signaling safety and intention to your brain before the day even begins. Keep it super simple and completely screen-free. Maybe it's 5 minutes of deep breathing by an open window, or making a really slow, deliberate cup of tea. By doing this at a consistent time and place, you create a reliable pocket of meaning. It's a quiet, daily declaration of self-respect that beautifully grounds your energy.
Now, let's look at an exercise that is deeply emotional and incredibly clarifying. It's called the legacy letter, sometimes known as an ethical will. This involves setting aside just 30 minutes to write down your core values, the hard-won lessons you've learned in life, and your hopes for a loved one. You aren't writing about money or assets here. You're writing about what your life has meant. In the process of writing this to a child, a friend, or even your future self, you'll often discover that your purpose was already inside you, just waiting for you to articulate it. If you're feeling a bit lost or stuck on autopilot just like David was, I want you to remember this. You are simply in the middle of your story. Your best chapters are absolutely still being written. Your Ikigai is right there, waiting for you to gently tend to it through curiosity, connection, and those small daily rituals. So I want to leave you with a question to ponder today. If you sat down to write your legacy letter tomorrow, what is the one lesson you would want to pass on? Think about it, and if you feel comfortable, share it with us in the comments below. Remember to always consult your healthcare provider before making major changes to your wellness routines. Thank you so much for trusting Vital Elixir today, and I really look forward to continuing this journey of strength and vitality with you. See you next time.
You know that feeling, right? You wake up, swing your legs over the edge of the bed, and there it is, that familiar, deep ache in your knees or your lower back. You probably didn't sleep great again, and honestly, that morning stiffness can make you feel a whole decade older than you actually are. So you're looking for a natural solution. You want your energy and your mobility back, but the second you look online, you are just totally bombarded. You see all these flashy wellness trends, extreme gadgets, and routines that just, well, they don't feel realistic or even safe for where we are in life right now. Believe me, you are definitely not alone in that frustration. Welcome to our explainer today. We are going to cut through the noise and break down the actual grounded science of heat therapy.
Because, let's be honest, when you're looking for relief online, this is the kind of stuff you usually run into. You'll see some glowing 20-something influencers sitting in a sleek, cedar-lined box, promising that if you just buy this $20,000 biohack, you'll miraculously detoxify your liver, melt away belly fat, and somehow reverse your biological age. I mean, because we all just have an extra 20 grand lying around for a wooden sweating box, right? It is exhausting. As adults, just trying to stay active and independent, seeing these wildly exaggerated claims makes you deeply skeptical. You look at it and think, is this actually going to do anything for my health? Or is it just another expensive trend that's going to gather dust in the garage?
Okay, let's dive into this, because that question right there is exactly why we're doing this today. Here's the honest truth. Heat therapy is absolutely not a scam. But It is wrapped up in a massive, massive amount of highly misleading marketing. So today, we are framing this entirely around you, bodies over 45 and specifically over 55. Our cardiovascular systems just require a bit more respect and care, right? We're going to strip away all that influence or exaggeration and look strictly at what decades of peer-reviewed science actually supports. We will uncover the genuine benefits, call out the nonsense, and show you a super simple, totally affordable way to transform your evenings without spending a single dime on luxury installations.
If you've been a little cautious about just jumping into a boiling hot sauna, your instincts are spot on. A smart approach to our health always starts with non-negotiable safety rules. When we're over 45, the line between a good stressor and a dangerous one gets a bit finer. Now, just a quick reminder, this explainer is for educational purposes only, it's not medical advice. Your safety is our absolute highest priority. First up, you've got to get medical clearance. Heat dilates your blood vessels and bumps up your heart rate. So if you have uncontrolled high blood pressure or take meds like diuretics or beta blockers, talk to your doctor first. Second, never use heat therapy after drinking alcohol. It messes with your body's ability to regulate temperature, and it's actually the leading cause of sauna-related emergencies. Third, please hydrate. You can easily sweat out a pound or two of water. If you're dehydrated, your blood pressure can drop too fast, making you dizzy. So drink a full glass of water before and after. Fourth, start low and go slow. Don't try to be a hero here. 5 to 10 minutes at a moderate temp is plenty to start. Fifth, listen to your body. A little discomfort is fine, but dizziness or chest tightness means you get out immediately. And finally, for our age group, skip those trendy immediate cold plunges. That rapid shock from extreme hot to extreme cold can cause a really dangerous spike in blood pressure. We want to cool down gently instead.
Once you have those safety ground rules in place, we reach a really exciting turning point. This is where we leave the internet hype behind and look at some profound, deeply validated science. Humans have used heat for thousands of years, right? Roman bathhouses, traditional sweat lodges, you name it. But it wasn't until a massive decades-long study came out that the medical community realized what heat was actually doing to the human heart. Just look at this number, 63%. This comes from a famous study in Finland, tracking over 2,300 middle-aged men for about 20 years. They found that the guys who used a sauna regularly had a 63% lower risk of sudden cardiac death compared to guys who only went once a week. They also saw massive drops in the risk of stroke and dementia. I mean, those are the kinds of numbers you'd expect to see from a breakthrough prescription drug, not just from sitting in a warm room. And this table here brilliantly illustrates the dose-response relationship they found. Essentially, the more they went, the better the results. For folks using the sauna 4 to 7 times a week, there was a 50% lower risk of fatal cardiovascular disease and a 40% lower risk of dying from literally any cause. So why does this happen? Well, repeated heat exposure acts a lot like moderate cardiovascular exercise. It raises your core temperature, it dilates those blood vessels, and it safely bumps your heart rate up to between 100 and 150 beats per minute. Over time, giving your heart this repeated little workout makes your arteries more elastic and can actually lower your resting blood pressure.
But it's not just your heart. Heat kicks off this truly fascinating biological chain reaction right down at the cellular level. When your core body temperature goes up by just a degree or two, your body releases something called heat shock proteins. I want you to think of these guys as your body's internal cellular repair crew. Whenever our cells get stressed, the proteins inside them can actually get damaged or misfolded. These heat shock proteins rush in, refold them, clean up the microscopic debris, and protect the cells from further damage. For those of us dealing with achy joints, stiffness, or just trying to recover from a good strength training session, this is huge. This repair process directly reduces inflammation and soothes that deep muscle ache, usually doing its best work about a day or two after you exercise.
So, what does this actually look like for you at home? One of the most immediate things you'll notice is just profound relaxation. If you use heat 2 to 3 hours before bed, you activate your parasympathetic nervous system. That's your rest and digest mode. It actively lowers cortisol, which is your main stress hormone. But here is the real magic trick for your sleep. When you get nice and warm, and then step out to gradually cool down, your core body temperature drops. And that specific temperature drop, that is the exact biological signal your brain needs to initiate deep sleep. It perfectly mimics your body's natural circadian rhythm. It eases the stiffness, calms the mind, and sets you up for a truly restorative night of rest.
So we know the science is real. The heart health, the cellular repair, the sleep. But now we've got to protect you from the predatory side of the wellness industry. Sadly, marketers have taken this incredible, ancient practice and just piled on claims that are biologically impossible, mostly to empty your wallet. Let's tackle the biggest one right out of the gate.
You hear this everywhere. The myth that sweating detoxifies your body, cleanses your liver, or flushes out heavy metals. Sweat out the toxins, right? Well, here is the grounded truth. Sweat is 99% water. Its only biological purpose is thermoregulation, keeping you from overheating. Your sweat glands are absolutely not a detox system. Your liver and your kidneys, those are your detox organs. The amount of metabolic waste you actually excrete through sweat is so tiny, it's practically unmeasurable. The whole detox marketing angle is just a scam. If you want to support your liver, drink water and eat well. Don't rely on a sauna to do your liver's job.
And then there's the weight loss myth. The idea that saunas literally melt fat. You know, you might sit in a sauna for 20 minutes, step on the bathroom scale, and hey, you're 2 pounds later. It feels amazing. But the reality is that is purely water weight from dehydration. The very minute you drink a glass of water, those 2 pounds come right back. Now, a sauna session might burn a tiny amount of calories because your heart rate is up, maybe similar to a very slow, short walk, but it absolutely does not burn fat. Real metabolic health and fat loss come from sustainable habits like lifting weights and eating enough protein, not from sweating in a hot room.
Finally, we have the technology myth. You'll see companies charging thousands of dollars extra for infrared saunas, claiming they penetrate your tissues deeper and are technologically vastly superior to traditional saunas. Well, actually, almost all of the massive, decades-long data proving those incredible cardiovascular benefits, like that huge Finnish study we just talked about, were done using good old-fashioned, traditional, high-heat, high-humidity saunas. Don't get me wrong, infrared saunas are perfectly fine. They run at a lower heat, which some folks really prefer. But there is zero conclusive scientific evidence that they are somehow magically superior. You really don't need to pay a massive luxury premium to get the health benefits of heat.
Knowing the actual science gives you the power to take control of your health without feeling like you need to drain your savings account. Like we said, you don't need a $20,000 cedar box in your backyard. You can create a highly effective heat ritual using things you probably already have at home right now. Let's look at an accessible way to get that lasting joint relief and heart support. Here's a totally doable, affordable evening ritual. Step 1. Just draw a bath at about 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Toss in a cup of Epsom salts. The magnesium sulfate in there is absolutely wonderful for relaxing your muscles. Step 2. Soak safely for 15 to 20 minutes. Make sure you have your water bottle right there on the edge of the tub so you stay hydrated. Step 3. Get out and cool down gradually. Take a lukewarm shower, throw on some loose, comfortable clothes, and just relax. This completely free routine dilates your blood vessels, activates those cellular repair proteins, and triggers that core temperature drop that primes your body for a phenomenal night of sleep.
And you know, the real secret here isn't pushing yourself to some extreme temperature. It's the habit. Consistency matters so much more than intensity. Aiming for just 15 minutes, 2 to 4 times a week is really the sweet spot. You don't have to endure boiling heat for an hour to get the benefits. By adding this gentle, sustainable habit into your week, you are taking back control. You're actively supporting your mobility, your independence, and your heart, all on your own terms. There's a lot of hope and peace of mind in realizing that aging well doesn't require extreme, expensive biohacks. It just requires consistent, gentle, science-backed care. So I'll leave you with this to think about. What is one simple step you will take tonight to start your own safe, restorative heat ritual? Remember, step number 1 should always be a quick chat with your doctor, just to make sure heat therapy is a good fit for your specific health profile. But once you get that green light, maybe it's just running that warm bath tonight and finally feeling that daily tension melt away. You've got the real science now, you know how to spot the myths, and you have the power to age with strength and confidence. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really can't wait to hear how your new evening ritual transforms your week.
Thank you for your time. Subscribe for more health education. Like the video and share it to help others stay informed.